Daina Buchner. I'm an ocean wildlife conservation photographer and videographer, and I focus on sharing the underwater world with other people to help create a connection and spark an interest in conservation. The first time that I was able to get into the ocean was when I was 7 and my family took a trip down to Florida. We did this snorkeling excursion, and I remember putting the gear on and the tour guide talking about how we might see sharks. But the second I hit the water, I fell in love with the ocean. The beautiful colors of the coral and the different colors of the fish swimming around. My mind was blown. I started photography when I was in high school, and it was more of a creative outlet at that point. Once I got into college, I kind of put that to the side. I think there was a realization that the path to photography is kind of like a daunting thing. I was just kind of nervous or scared about it. So I went to undergrad for marketing and business, and I went to a human-computer interaction master's program in Chicago, and that was kind of my transition moving towards tech and what I do in my day job as a UX researcher. But at one point, my husband and I made a decision to quit our jobs and move to San Diego. We go to Dominica in the West Indies, gorgeous island. I borrowed a GoPro for the trip from one of my coworkers, and I was just so excited about this prospect of being able to do pictures underwater. We get back to our condo. We were still living in Chicago at the time, and it is snowing at the end of March, and it's so cold, and we were just like, we can't live here anymore. That's when we decided to make the move out closer to the ocean. I started doing underwater photography now as an adult. My initial focus was doing photography for our travels. We went to the Kingdom of Tonga. This trip was incredibly special. Every summer, humpback whales migrate to Tonga. So that's when I started doing all the heavy research to be able to take my camera underwater with me. When I'm free diving, I'll have my wetsuit, socks, gloves, a hoodie, snorkel and mask, a weight belt of some sort. The weight belt will help me maintain negative buoyancies. Of course, my fins, the housing with the port and the adapters for the port. Once I get to the beach, I do a mental checklist. Essentially, I evaluate if there's weird currents going on, if there's any rip currents that I have to be aware of. Despite diving for years at this point, I still get nervous and excited before each dive because you never know what to expect. When you start diving more into wildlife and conservation photography and videography, there's a lot of big shifts in your lifestyle that you have to make. The career that I had created for myself in tech, I really enjoyed it, and I actually ended up really missing it a lot, which I was not expecting. My brain kind of craves both analytical work but also creative work. The biggest takeaway from tech that I've kind of translated into my photography work is just the resilience that is required to be in both those spaces. Balances are things that I'm still to this day learning, but I wanted to show people that it was possible to have a full-time job and a creative outlet. I'm really excited about the prospect of being able to go back through all of the footage that I've had over the years and put together something highlighting the different animals that I've seen throughout my experience doing this. And then really just being able to partner with organizations, which I've already started doing. When I'm in the ocean or doing photography, I can see the actual impacts of materialism when you look at how there's trash in the ocean and just on the beaches and how people leave all this stuff around. When I think about why I'm doing what I'm doing, what I do want is to inspire people to make changes to their daily life to help with conserving our oceans. My blog is called Headed Anywhere, and it's headedanywhere.com.